But that story reminds me of in the Herald yesterday. They have their travel section, and they had an excellent piece on fat people on planes. And, you know, the problem of being on a plane when you sit next to a fat person, and sometimes actually the fat person sits on top of you because they won't fit into the seat. And the people were writing in suggesting what airlines should do to sort of reorganise things. And the best suggestion, well, the best suggestion was they should sit all the fat people next to each other. So you've got one row of seats occupied only by obese people. Can you imagine what that would be like when they have to put their tray tables down? But there were hideous stories. One story of a woman in the paper who had written in and said that she was sitting in the seat and the armrest wouldn't go down, and this person was overflowing into her lap. Every time she had to get the remote for the TV, she had to ask this person to lift part of themselves, roll part of themselves up, so she'd get the armrest out. And then, when the lunch came, and of course it couldn't come early enough for the person sitting next to her, when the lunch came, they couldn't get the tray table down, so they had to hold the tray table with one hand and ask her to cut up their meat.
Oh, no.
They had to ask this woman to cut up their meat, and she paid for that.
But don't you hate it when you're on a plane and someone's walking towards you and they're quite large and you're thinking, please don't sit next to me, please don't sit next to me. We're being mean here.
No, we're not. We're not being mean because, of course, when you contract with an airline for a flight, you're not buying a seat because they don't give you the seat. You're buying the space on the seat. And you're buying all of that space. You're not buying what's left after the fat person next to you is, you know.
All right, before you upset...
No, but it's true. It is true, isn't it? It is true. You should give that skydiving a go, Kay. I was thinking that when I was watching that. That'd be a great career move. You could be a tandem skydive... like buddy, what do they call them? Buddies or something. Buddy diver, something like that.
Coming up next...
Freefall, no parachute.
The Mayor of Honolulu is in, thank goodness.
Funnily enough, Peter was telling us that you had a flying incident with a fat person when you were coming back from the States last time. But luckily there was a spare seat next to you.
I was in 34C, she was in 34A and B.
She might have paid for both the seats.
She deserved to, she should have.
Yeah, and some people do that. Some people do obviously do that because they think about themselves and other passengers. And I was saying before that in Amtrak, the train service in the United States, one of the jobs that I suppose one of the juniors has is freeing fat people from the toilet.
Only the strong juniors.
Yeah, because what happens, you see, the toilet cubicles are quite small, and if you're a very, very big person, you go into the toilet and they've signs up saying do not flush while you're sitting on the toilet, but big people obviously there's not much room in the cubicle so they can't move around, and so they sit there and
the mental picture of what's coming next.
Flush, and they're suction toilets and they suck the whole fat person down into the bowl, and so well, not the whole person, just a flubbery bit, and so there's actually someone who has to, you know, problem in cubicle 10. I better go in with the yard broom. All right. And I've got this one that you gave me.
Oh, you cannot read.
No, I want to. I'll read it later.
Right, you just wait. There has been lots of correspondence about mice. A lot. Now, listen up, Petal. Don't use cheese in your mousetrap. Use peanut butter. It works every time.
I've heard that. And bacon. Someone told me bacon as well.
Can totally relate to your mice story, Paul, as we live in the country. I put peanut butter on the traps. Works a treat. And they've got a cat called Taz who does a good job.
What if the mouse has an allergy to peanuts? That would be horrendous.
All right, Paul. Forget the mouse, it's a rat. Maybe it is a rat. And finally, one more. This is my favourite. This is my favourite. Your effort with the mice reminded me when mice got into a cupboard of my classroom during the holiday and fed on the crayons. The result looked like a great collection of hundreds and thousands.
Coloured poos.
That's fantastic.
Maybe I should put crayons in the trap. Crayons. And this one here, and the reason I'm reading this, you gave it to me because you said it was funny.
It's not suitable to be read on air, but my co-host is going to read it.
Well, I mean, because you deserve to hear the full facts.
If you're a little bit offended easily, don't listen.
No. Hi there, Paul. If you intend to undertake more of your midnight moves, you might want to consider laminating your undercarriage. It will make your journey on the carpet much smoother and prevent your rudder from getting in the way. Aren't you glad now you invested in a laminator? And the reason I particularly wanted to read that... Look at Peter.
And I didn't.
Quick shot of the esteemed newsreader. The reason I wanted to read that largely is because I have had a very successful weekend laminating. And let me tell you, it is a cathartic experience.
What did you laminate?
I reckon...
What did you laminate?
Oh, just anything that was loose. I reckon that the government should actually issue laminators to people as part of the health service. Because, it is very cathartic. You know, if you've got some terrible disease or something like that, you sit there at home with your laminator, However, the executive producer has just said in my earpiece that the carbon footprint is something to consider.
Yes, very good.
Because your laminator sort of operates.
Bring in some of the stuff that you've laminated so we can have a look and check it out.
The day may come.
Integrity of your lamination.
The day may come when we have to pop things through the laminator because of the carbon footprint so large. You know, trees, kiwis, and things like that, so that we can remember what they were like.